Have you wanted to start a new journey in the MMORPG games genre? In the Play Store, there are a ton of MMO games that's available to download and play. Unfortunately, most of the game is getting forgotten by the player and even the number of the players active is getting lower. This all happened with some reason that our team tries to make a conclusion based on our experience and also by reading the players' feedback from the Play Store review and also the App Store review. Remember to like this video and please enjoy the video of Top 10 MMORPG that are getting forgotten, but actually really worth playing games. Revelation New World. It's crazy when I'm thinking how possible the developer create a beautiful graphic game of MMO that only needs 5GB in total size, which I mean the size is way smaller if we compare it with the graphic quality it has. It makes the game become playable on mid-range phones. On this video, the far view distance is perfectly described, how detailed the further area is, even we can do so interesting action while exploring the open world, which is swimming or diving under the water and see how realistic the ambience is, with an oxygen bubble show up frequently and how the fish come over around us. The game's combat mechanism lets the player play at a higher intensity because we can move the hero while attacking. Unfortunately, it's kind of a grinding beast because the distance between the monster respawn is quite far. It will create the player can't grind faster. Surely the developer tried to deliver the games through a storyline base with a lot of special cutscenes and how good the animation will show up. Revelation New World get a huge major update now and keeps releasing the new server anyway. Best MMORPG on mobile. Dragon Raja. I remember the first time this game released on mobile was pretty insane. The graphic it has really represent the new MMO's level standard with a high quality visual and sharpnesses of attention to detail, made it become viral in the mobile games industry. After Dragon Raja came out on mobile, the new MMORPG was released one by one with an ultra graphic level as well. We are so lucky this game come as a pioneer to the next gen games. We'll get into the futuristic world where the main concept is the futuristic world. That's why the ambience and the world has a perfect combination of sci-fi and also robotic base. The combat itself not fast-paced and it looks slower, which make the player experience the combat in a realistic action with a great sparkling skill effect. Right now, I will highlight my concern about it that I'm sure many of you will think twice to download, because the game size is reaching more than 20GB. Are any of you willing to play it again? With this game size, no wonder Dragon Raja is becoming one of the highest graphic MMORPGs on Android, PC and iOS. The Legend of Neverland. This game is one of the best anime MMORPG games on mobile that has a Genshin Impact look and gets so much frequent update by the game's developer. The graphic absolutely impressed me even though the game has been released for a few years before, but surely we can compare the visual within the new MMORPG mobile right now. We can pick different classes like Assassin, Warrior, Gunner and also Magician. Each of the characters will have their own primary weapon as well as the skill. If you love to play a flashy skill showcase with different elements, then this game is really good for you. The main gameplay is fully auto-play. From the pathfinding, mission or quest, and even combat can be navigated by a single tap, which is an auto. Even the game has downloaded for more than 5 million players. Unfortunately, the developer are not giving a huge concern on how to maintain the server. They should merge or combine the last server rather than keep launching the new server. But from the graphic, of course, The Legend of Neverland is the best MMORPG anime game for Android and iOS. Moonlike Blade M. If you wanted to play a MMORPG with a great action hack and slash base, I'm sure you will stick on it. I can say a lot of action the developer try to give the best experience in combat, and even you need to learn it at the right timing and precision. For example, the parry system, blocking action, and also need to focus to tap the extra attack while the icon suddenly appears in a short period of time. It's kind of an exploration, but you will have a right to explore the open world much freely. Buying multiple jump action will make you feel like you are flying along the sky. Try to get the new experience on running on the water. It's look pretty clear though. I noticed the enemy only will appear once you are following the main mission. Find your teammate and challenge them in the duel for 1 versus 1 and see how cool the combat is. This MMORPG is good to play manually because every action will easily determine your result. I love how the developer keep merging their server. It's an indication if they are still maintaining the game. Tusland. If you have a powerful devices that allows you to play a mobile game in 4K graphic, then this game is the only game you can enjoy with that level. Seriously, it needs a higher endpoint to enjoy the maximum experience when you set the visual into maximum. The main gameplay absolutely impressed me. It has one of the best action movement because we can hit the enemy while releasing the skill and launch a basic attack. This action makes the game look super smooth in combat and realistic. Surely not clunky, because the main character does not only stand still in one position. With this mechanism, it will help the player to dodge the incoming attack and find out the best spot to make a distance while waiting for the skill ready to use. As I remember, Tusland got so much hype, even the game wasn't released globally, the number who tried to participate in the beta testing reached the maximum. Unfortunately, the game has so many things to sell on the shop to speed up the progress. In fact, the player wishes the game would become no pay-to-win MMORPG. Silk Road Online. If you love to play a hard grinding MMO, which I mean you need a lot of effort to level up your main character, this game will fit on you. At the earliest game, I'm sure you will feel how fast the character's level rising, but in the mid game, especially when you reach level 32, then you will realize how difficult to level up your hero. The main quest needs a lot of effort to clear because the monster level is way too strong for a newbie player, especially for a free-to-play players. But out of that thing, I would like to appreciate the game's developer who's trying to make the game has a better graphic than the last version. If you compare between the new version and the old one, I am sure you will easily find the difference. There is a huge gap by the graphic look and how the visual is. I wish this game will have a trade system between the players just like the other MMORPG on PC. Unfortunately, the whole features it has is totally the same within the other mobile MMO. The auto features does not really represent MMO that ported from PC. I really understand how they try to adjust, but of course as a veteran player who's experienced the PC game, no auto game should be a priority. The microtransaction through trading should get more updates. Eternal Kingdom Battle Peak. I am sure everyone will agree with me if Asobimo is the only one games developer who consistently making no pay-to-win MMORPG, and his credibility is well represented in a game that everyone knows. The name is Toram Online. But the Eternal Kingdom Battle Peak has a very different visual with an auto gameplay. I really believe what the player is hoping when they hear a new MMO from Asobimo company. Unfortunately, the game doesn't run perfectly because 1v1 players are finishing. One of the main reasons is the game is really difficult to get a high quality equipment and even the material, but the most important thing is the autoplay features. As we all know, Asobimo companies are always present no autoplay MMORPG, but this game is showing full of auto. I'm pretty sure many of players will think if this game will have a manual gameplay just like the other Asobimo game. Overall, I have an experience playing Final Fantasy game vibes. No wonder this game were made from Japan, which is quite identical. Ragnarok M Eternal Love. I'm so speechless about how many of the fans of the Ragnarok game have. Seriously, you have too many Ragnarok games on mobile, and surprisingly, every time the game launches a different game's title, it always has so many players to play, with an average downloader reach more than 1 million. Ragnarok is one of the biggest MMORPG game names in the games industry. That's why the developer always launch so many servers to maintain the massive player who want to participate in it. Unfortunately, the more they create a server, it will make the population of each server more quiet. This is what the player experience the most, with a high tension of pay-to-win base. On making some top players reach out further progress, but surely the developer are really active in updating the game with so many new events to keep the loyal players playing it. I'm pretty sure one day there is a moment when the second sequence come up, then this game is getting forgotten, which is Ragnarok M Eternal Love 2 has a better action gameplay and new interesting world from a different perspective and point of view. Dragon Age 2 Evolution. My honest experience is that game has exactly the same experience as the Ragnarok game, because we have seen so many Dragon Age versions on mobile and even the previous version has stopped and disappeared from the Play Store. With a different publisher, this franchise keep having a new series or sequel, but overall it doesn't have any big difference between the new version or the old one. I'm sure every new will agree if Dragon Age was one of the best MMORPGs of all time, especially on the PC version. Right now, the developers should try to improve the graphic quality. If they want to engage the newbie player, many of the fans are thinking about how the Dragon Sword MMO, which is well known, was made by the ex-Dragon Age creator. Once the Dragon Sword game launches globally, then I'm not sure if the Dragon Age can stand against it then. And I have a vision of the fanbase that will come and move into the Dragon Sword MMO. But anyway, any of you know Dragon Sword? RTH War. If you have played it once it launched for the first time on global, I'm sure will have laggy issues and unstable gameplay, but right now after I download and play it again, then I realize how big the improvement is. The developer successfully make a huge optimization by the smoothness, graphic, visual, and how the game now can run on a mid-range phone without any kid anymore. The other games developers should learn from this game. It's absolutely fascinating to play a high-quality MMORPG on a mobile platforms that run amazingly on mid-range phone level. If you are a newbie, surely this MMORPG is very good because the main gameplay is pretty simple with a clear tutorial explained. The combat mechanism is really simple. We don't have to focus on the mana regen or energy because the only indicator we should focus on is the cooldown time, with a short period of time being enough to kill the enemy faster. Bonus: Seven Knights 2. If we check the game on the Play Store, it has the MMORPG genre, but actually it's pretty unique and very different from the combat. So we'll have 4 main heroes as a teammate who will attack the enemy by an auto. We are only able to navigate and control one hero to select which skill we should launch first. It seems like a brawl concept where every partner will make a gang to approach the enemy as a target. Of course, it will give the player a different gameplay than the usual MMO we know. If we remember, the first version of Seven Knights is chibi character design, but this version has a realistic shape and the actual size of the hero's design. These all are the best MMORPG on mobile. Unfortunately, there is some reason why the player gets away from it. Can you tell me your own reason? Or any of you still playing these old games? Please write in the comments below. Remember to like this video and see you on the next list. Thanks!